Hey, welcome! I'm really glad you're here. By the end of this video, I want you to feel lighter, calmer, and happier than you do right now. Because today, we're going to talk about one thing most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever truly understanding how it works. Real happiness. Before we begin, I want you to do something simple for me. Take a deep breath. One slow breath in, and one slow breath out. For the next few minutes, this is your space. No pressure, no pretending, no trying to impress anyone. Just you and me having an honest conversation about happiness. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt genuinely happy? Not distracted, not entertained, not temporarily excited. I mean truly happy. The kind of happiness where your mind feels quiet, your chest feels light, and for a moment, life feels enough exactly as it is. Can you remember that feeling? Maybe it's been a while. And if it has, that's okay. Because most people today are not unhappy because their lives are terrible. They're unhappy because they've forgotten how to feel happiness in small moments. We live in a world that constantly tells us, you'll be happy when you make more money, when you lose weight, when people admire you, when you find the perfect relationship, when you become successful. So we spend our entire lives running toward happiness like it's waiting somewhere far away. But what if happiness isn't a destination? What if happiness is a skill? What if it's something you practice, not something you find? That changes everything. Because there's something nobody tells you about happiness. Your brain is not designed to keep you happy all the time. It's designed to keep you alive. That means your mind naturally focuses on problems, stress, danger, comparison, and fear. That's why one negative comment can ruin your whole day, while 10 compliments barely stay in your mind. Your brain treats survival like priority number one. And happiness, that requires intention, awareness, practice. But here's the beautiful part. Once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking, why can't I just be happy? And instead, you begin asking a better question. What habits are stealing my happiness every day? Think about this honestly. How much of your life is spent being truly present? Not scrolling, not worrying about tomorrow, not replaying yesterday, just being here. Most people never fully experience happiness because their mind is always somewhere else. And that's why even after achieving things, they still feel empty. You know what's interesting? Some of the happiest people in the world are not the richest, the most famous, or the most successful. They're simply the most present. They notice life, a morning breeze, a good cup of coffee, a conversation with someone they love, music in the background, sunlight on their face, small things. But small things become big when you actually feel them. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we've trained ourselves to chase intensity instead of peace. We want massive excitement all the time. Big success, big moments, big validation. But happiness rarely arrives loudly. Most of the time, happiness whispers. And if your life is too noisy, you'll miss it. So today, I want to try something with you. For the next few seconds, stop doing everything else. No multitasking. No checking notifications. Just listen. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is praying for the life you currently have. Someone wishes they had your opportunities, your freedom, your health, or your time. And no, this is not about guilt. It's about perspective. Because happiness grows when gratitude enters the room. And gratitude changes what your brain searches for. Suddenly, your mind stops asking, what's missing? And starts asking, what's already beautiful here? That shift changes people. Now let me tell you something important. Happiness does not mean your life becomes perfect. It doesn't mean you stop having bad days. It doesn't mean you never feel stress, sadness, loneliness, or confusion. Real happiness is not constant smiling. Real happiness is emotional stability. It's the ability to experience difficult moments without losing yourself inside them. And honestly, that's strength. One of the biggest lies social media teaches us is that happy people are happy all the time. They're not. They simply recover faster. They know how to return to themselves. That's the secret. And maybe today, you need to return to yourself too. Not the stressed version, not the anxious version, not the version trying to prove something to everyone. The real you underneath all the noise. Because deep down, I think you already know something. You know that happiness is not hiding in some future moment. You know that even after reaching goals, there will always be another mountain, another desire, another chase. So if you don't learn how to enjoy life now, you may never enjoy it at all. That realization changed my life. Maybe it changes yours too. Now imagine waking up tomorrow and instead of immediately checking your phone, you sit quietly for 1 minute. You breathe. You notice the morning. You let your mind wake up slowly. That 1 minute alone could change your emotional state. That's how happiness works. Not through giant transformations overnight, but through tiny repeated moments. Tiny choices. Tiny awareness. Tiny pauses. Most people underestimate small habits because the results are invisible in the beginning. But happiness compounds, just like stress does. And here's something else I learned. The people who feel happiest are usually the people who stop waiting for permission to enjoy their lives. They stop saying, "I'll relax later. I'll enjoy life after success. I'll be happy when everything is perfect." Because life never becomes perfectly organized. There will always be uncertainty, always challenges, always unfinished goals. So happiness cannot be postponed. It has to exist alongside imperfection. And honestly, that might be the most freeing thing you hear today. You are allowed to enjoy your life while still building it. You are allowed to laugh while healing. You are allowed to rest without earning it first. You are allowed to be enough before becoming more. And maybe that's the happiness you've been searching for. Not a dramatic emotional high, just peace, just presence, just the feeling that your life belongs to you again. Before we finish today, I want to give you a small challenge. Tonight before you sleep, write down 3 things that made today even slightly better. Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe you had a good meal. Maybe you survived a difficult day. That counts too. Train your mind to notice life differently. Because what you repeatedly notice becomes your reality. And one day, without realizing exactly when it happened, you'll wake up and notice something incredible. You're lighter, calmer, more grateful, more alive, not because your whole life changed overnight, but because you did. And if this message connected with you even a little, subscribe and come back tomorrow, because this journey is just beginning. And trust me, the next conversation might be the one you needed most.